Hello AU student leaders. Welcome to the tutorial to re-register your organization on Engage for the 2020-2021 annual renewal process. So this tutorial will detail how you go through the re-registration process so that the first time that you complete re-registration, you can get approved, and it's a very simple process. So let's go ahead and get started, all right? First, you're going to log into Engage. As you can see here, I'm already logged in, but all you have to input is your AU username and password, and it'll take you to your account. So right now we're on the home page. At the upper right hand corner, you'll see a cube full of little mini squares, and you're going to click that. So you should have two options. Here I have three, but you should have two. It'll be Explore and Manage. We're going to go ahead and click on that Manage button. And then it takes you to your Action Center. This is where you can manage specific organization pages. We're going to scroll down, and under My Memberships, you should see each and every organization that you're on the roster for. Now, for re-registration purposes, there are only specific executive board positions that can complete re-registration. That's your president, vice president, treasurer, and your primary contact. For many groups, your primary contact is also the president, vice president, or treasurer, so any of those positions can complete it. So for re-registration today, choose your club that you want to re-register, and we're going to click. Today I'm going to be re-registering for Happiest Club, which is not actually a club on campus, but it works for tutorial purposes. So if we scroll down, you should see a blue box that says this organization is eligible for re-registration. And we're going to click re-register this organization. Alright, so after we click that button, it brings us to step number 1 of 8. And you should see this page, and it says 2020-2021 Student Organization Annual Renewal. The first thing you want to do is definitely read the instructions. So I'll just point out a few things that's important for you all to know. So first, if the submission is approved, whoever completes it will become the primary contact of the organization. So that means if your treasurer completes it, but you'd like your president to be the primary contact, after you get approved, just be sure to go back in your roster and make sure you change the primary contact to the president instead of the treasurer. Next is that the re-registration process does not have to be completed at one time. You can resume it by hitting the blue hyperlink text where my arrow is showing here under Submissions, and you'll be able to go back right where you left off. Next is that the annual renewal re-registration with Engage is due by Friday, August 7th. This is very important because if you do not complete the re-registration process, which is phase 1, by Friday, August 7th, you will no longer be active for the upcoming school year. So make sure that you complete it by our due date. So here we have the instructions for how to complete re-registration. Very, very simple. So first we have 2 web tutorials we would like you to watch about managing Engage. Now the good thing about this is that they are already embedded into the platform, so you do not have to open a separate window. Next, this is just some information that you're going to either have to confirm or update. So your club constitution, club image or logo, club email and student primary contact. Make sure that you add or you confirm that your club advisor is on your roster. And also make sure that you update or confirm the following executive board positions. So who's your president, your treasurer, your 25 live space requester, and if you're a fraternity or sorority life group or a professional Greek lettered organization, make sure that you have someone in the position as new member educator. So that means you have to have a minimum of at least 8 student members in your roster and then 1 staff advisor, so technically it'd be a total of at least 9 members. So we're going to go ahead and hit the next button. Alright, and it brings us to step 2, which is going to be our first tutorial, which is an overview of Engage for student clubs. So if you don't know, or if you're new to the student club land, Engage is our club content management system that we use here at CSI. So it has a variety of tools that'll help you as you're managing your club, recruitment, event planning, finances, lots of different things to make sure that your club can function as successfully as we need it to and as you would like it to. So just check out our tutorial here to learn more about the Engage system and how to utilize it for your club. After you watch this video, we just have a few details that you have to input just to make sure that we know you watched it. So it's going to be your name, organization, email, AUID, and your e-board position. So we'll go ahead and fill it out. Miss Jordan, I am on behalf of Athletes Club today. My email is here. I'm just going to make up a fake AUID, and I'll say that I'm the president. And then after you input that and watch the video, I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Alrighty, so this is very important. You're going to have to make sure that you have your club logo on your computer. So if you are a new e-board member coming in, make sure you get that information from the outgoing e-board to make sure that you can keep the continuity with your organization. I'm going to choose my file. Alright, so our club logo is uploaded. Now, since Happy's Club is not a real club, I'm just using the CSI logo today, but that will fulfill the purposes for the tutorial. Now, one good thing to notice is that here we have a previous button. So, if you mess up, or if you need to read the instructions again, or just need to go back, you can hit previous with no problem. But for now, we're just going to keep going on and hit next. So this takes us to step 4 of 8, which is the club contact information. So it's going to have a section for general information about who you are on campus. So, of course, your name, your acronym if you have one. Now, these two parts I'm about to talk about are very important. So first we have the organization description summary. So the description summary is what is shown on the complete organizations list, which is here at the top. So usually that's when students are looking through all of the organizations that are recognized by AU and are just trying to see the options. So it will just be a short description of who you are. And so here we have the happiest place on campus. And now alright, so now on to the organization description. So the organization description is what's listed on your actual club page. So as you can see here, it gives you a lot more room to add a lot of text to really flesh out and explain who you are, what your organization does, and how to get involved with you. So I urge you all to really put some meaningful energy into filling out the organization description so that if a prospective student comes and looks at your page, they have all the details about who you are. Another cool thing is that you can link YouTube videos or Vimeo videos also in this area right here. So if you have some cool content that your organization creates on YouTube, definitely take the time to embed it in your Engage page so that people don't have to go looking for all your social media sites. So next, this information will probably already be filled out, so just take the time to make sure that it's correct and confirm it. If you have an external website, I know some groups do, make sure you put the link here so that people can see all your information. Also, any of your social media sites, make sure you add your URLs there so that all your information is in one consistent place. Again, so prospective students don't have to go looking for your information on Twitter or Instagram or your YouTube channel. It'll all be here on your Engage page. If we scroll down some more, we see the organization contact information. So this is very important to make sure that you only use public information. So for email, it should be a general club email, not your AU student email, not just one of your exec board's email, but it should be a general org email. So if you don't have one yet, I suggest you get on Gmail and make one. Also, for actual address information, do not put your private home location or where you're living right now, you can use the 4400 Massachusetts Avenue for the AU address if you want to add something here, but make sure you do not put private information there because this will be shown to the public. Now, I'm not going to add anything for our purposes, but just to explain, that is what all of that is. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the next button. All right, now we're on step 5, which is your organization categories. So categories is very important also because it helps people who are looking for specific organization types to narrow down their search so that they're not looking through all of our clubs for forever. So for Happiest Club, let's see, we'll probably put creative. We may create things that make people happy. And social engagement, because we meet and we talk about things and we're happy together. If you are a academic club or focus strictly on academics, sure, put that category. If you are one of our cultural groups on campus, definitely put that category. This just helps narrow it down so that when people are searching, they can find out who you are and easily get connected with your club. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. To step 6 of 8. So this one is our next tutorial. It's on building and maintaining your organization's roster. So this video is all about how to add, approve, delete, and manage your roster for who's in your organization. So this is very important so that you know who's involved with your organization, and if you ever need to send out any bulk communication, it'll go to everyone on your roster. This is also very important to make sure that you update your current leadership, because those are the folks who are going to receive communication from CSI or be invited to specific events based off their position. So give this video a quick look through. It's about 11 minutes, but it's very intuitive, and it will also help you on this next step of where we have to update our roster again. So after you check out the video, just go ahead and enter the following information again, same as you did on the last tutorial. And we'll say president. And we'll go ahead and hit the next button. Step 7 of 8 now, managing our organization's roster. Now, I will say this will probably be the most tedious part of the entire re-registration process, depending on how many people are in your roster currently and how many people that you need to add to your roster. So I'm going to talk about each section, and then I will tell you where I suggest you begin with this part. So on the first one, we have reviewing our organization's roster requirements. So these are the positions that are required to be indicated in your roster. So president, 25 live requester, your club advisor, your treasurer, and having at least 9 total people in your roster, with 8 of those being students. Now in this next section is where you're going to add members. So you can either add members in individual positions, or you can add members in bulk by writing their email addresses. We'll come back to this section in a minute. And then in this last section right here, we have reviewing our roster. This is where you can review, remove, or edit position assignments within the roster. So my advice is to start under reviewing your roster if you have a lot of people. This will allow you to take the time to go through each name, remove folks who have graduated or are no longer associated with the organization, edit the executive board positions for people who may have been in general membership and now are a part of your exec board. You can make them president, treasurer, or whatever position they are now in your executive board. And also just reviewing to make sure that the names that are currently listed in your roster are actually people who are in your group. This also makes it easy when you're editing your position assignments, because once you edit them, they'll light up green when we go back to the top. Example, if I want to make myself the president, I am now member and president, and I'm going to make the director of CSI, Ayana Wilson, our treasurer for Happiest Club. Now she's member and treasurer. So if I scroll back up, we have 2 green check marks under our required positions. So I definitely suggest starting here at the review roster section before you even begin to add any members to make sure that the correct executive board is listed in your roster. Now, we only have 2 people listed under Happiest Club, so I have to add 7 more people. So that's when I'm going to go into add multiple members. You can either do them in bulk, like I said before, or you can do individual members and positions. I'm going to do mine in bulk because I have to add so many. Now, if you were doing this and you just had to add a few people who may be new to your organization or new on the executive board, I would suggest doing the add individual members and positions to make it very, very easy for you. So for now, I'm just going to add our 7 people, all our staff in CSI. And one tidbit I will say is you want to make sure that you use the @american.edu email address. You don't want to use the @student.american.edu because it will not translate into the system. So make sure you're using the @american.edu email address for anyone that you're adding. We also cannot add any Gmails or Yahoos, only official american.edu emails. And after you added all your names, just going to hit the add button, and we'll scroll back up to the top. And then we see our 9 total participants in the green. And so it adds all of our people, and now all we have to do is edit the positions to make sure that we're hitting all of the required executive board and or faculty or staff positions. So I'm going to make Calvin here, who also works with all of our student orgs. I'm going to make him our faculty and staff advisor. And save. And then I'm also going to make Roderick Wilson, who works with our student media groups, as our 25 Live requester. And so now, once we have all of our positions done, and we scroll back up to the top, all of our requirements are fulfilled, and we can continue on to the next section. Alright, last but not least, we're just going to upload our Constitution and bylaws. So again, if you are a new exec board member, make sure that you have this file somewhere close by. Open and upload it, and we'll hit next. Alright, and now is the time when you can review your submission. So make sure, if you're unsure about if you did something correctly, you can click on any of these links and go right back to that page and make sure you did it correctly. And the most important thing about this is making sure that you hit our submit button. If you do not hit the submit button, we will not get it on our side at CSI, and we will not see your re-registration. So make sure that you hit submit. And then when your submission has been submitted successfully, you should come to my submissions page, and as you can see here, Happiest Club, your status should say pending, and then it shows you when it's completed, and you can always look at it and print it out. And then if your status from CSI will come back as either approved or denied, and you will get an email to your student email from Engage, saying it was approved or denied, and the reason why, if it was denied. And if you were approved, then you have completed phase 1 of registration. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your CSI advisor. We'll be happy to help you.